inside the Max Defender 8 vehicle is rock solid. I want to show you outside, though, to what I was illustrating before. Right now on that telephone pole, you can see the storm surge is at around 9 feet. According to Cedar Key Fire and Rescue, we can expect it to get up to about 16 feet. Right now, cresting above 10 to 11 feet below us. So the storm surge still has a ways to go. And as Joey Capstrand pulls out, you can see that storm debris down there. That's not a dock. That's actually a building that has come apart because of the rising water. The entire building, part of a bed and breakfast, the Cottages Motel and Fareaway Inn, the entire building has broken apart. We kind of watched it happen in front of us. We were worried about some of the debris from this huge oak tree that has fallen down. But what we're going to try to do right now is take you on a little drive because there's a lot to see here in Cedar Key. The power went out overnight. The water is now out over throughout the island. I did speak to that man from Cedar Key Fire Rescue who told me that the approach bridges to the island are now completely underwater. So everybody who stayed is here now and will be here for a while. No way to tell how those bridges are doing underwater because sometimes as the storm surge comes up, it can knock out those bridges. So we're hoping that is not the case. But take a look down there. That's a hotel on the corner there. I stayed in that for a previous storm, and it flooded, and it's flooded again. So there are a lot of buildings on the lower portions of Cedar Key that are now flooded. Their first floors are flooded. I'm told by Cedar Key Fire Rescue, the entire downtown area of Cedar Key is flooded, and we're just kind of taking you around to show you, the power lines have not fallen. There's only a few trees that have fallen here, so we feel pretty safe about driving around to show you this. But we're on the high ground. We're on really the highest point that you can get on Cedar Key, which is why, as you're noticing, as we're driving by, you can see people have taken their golf carts up here to get them out of harm's way. There's a church here on our right. We were told that it's open for people who need a place to go. But you can see we're kind of surrounded on all four sides by the rising water. And as I mentioned, the downtown businesses that have flooded, they're going to have a lot of work to do to recover after this storm, because we know that it's not just the water that comes in, it's all the silt, the muck, and everything else that they're now going to have to clean up to get out. But look at those condos. A lot of the newer buildings here are well above the expected storm surge. They're rised up on these stilts, if you will, and so they're out of the way. But a lot of the older buildings, especially those in the lower portions of Cedar Key, aren't doing too well right now. So we want to take you just kind of back around the block, if you will, because we don't have a lot that we can drive around, simply because we are surrounded by water at this time, but we are not at the high point of where we could be. We still have a ways to retreat, even as this storm water comes up another expected 6 to 7 feet. But as Joey takes a look to our right, you're looking more towards downtown. There's a residence that is kind of underwater, at least the first floor of that residence that's underwater right now. And so we've been watching a lot of the debris float up from the Gulf of Mexico. We've seen kayaks and Yeti coolers, docks that were breaking loose. And then we saw that first floor, or not the first floor, we saw that building from that little, bed and breakfast type inn that just completely blew apart as the waters from the Gulf of Mexico were coming in. So that's going to be a devastating thing for the owners of that to come back to. And a lot of the people on this island did retreat and left the island before this started to come in last night. But it's going to be difficult for them to even get back out to this island because, as I said, Cedar Key Fire Rescue telling us that 3 bridges on the approach from the mainland are completely underwater at this time. As he told me, you're going to be with us for a while. And we love Cedar Key. We love the people here. But take a look down in front of us there. You can just see the water perhaps gurgling up from a manhole cover right in front of us. And we can't really go any further because a manhole cover just to our left is also percolating with water And so the water is just, the storm surge is the thing that we have to worry about right now here on Cedar Key, and we're keeping a close eye on it, of course, for our own personal safety. But we just wanted to show you guys around a little bit in the Max Defender 8 storm chasing vehicle, and we're going to toss it back to you guys now in the